What's up, everybody? How's it going? I'm shipping. As you can see, I do need to adjust my camera angle just a smidge, though. I'm going to go like that, and then do one of these. There we go. Okay, I'm shipping. So I thought I would hang out and talk to you guys. Did everybody see the big news today? Do I need to go like this? Yeah, that's better. So now I can't see your comments. This might have been a bad idea, everybody. So did everybody see the big news today? Zeb Wells and Greg Capullo on Deadpool Batman, and Grant Morrison and Dan Mora on Batman Deadpool. Did you guys see that news? Certainly not a well thought out idea. You mean me shipping or that book? Because I think that book is a great idea. Me shipping not being well thought out, well, yeah, that makes sense. I have to cut some cardboard. Shout out to the United States Postal Service for all this free cardboard. Oh, yeah, if I turn the camera sideways, the comments are hidden by the screen on the phone. And you know, that's no fun. It's not that hot, Ship, to be real honest. It's slightly warm, but it's not bad. My warehouse is climate controlled. So, like, I don't know, it's in the 60s, I suppose. A little chillier than I'd like it to be, but also there's no air movement. I need to remember to bring a fan. One of those little battery-operated fans. It's like I got to go to Harbor Freight later and get a 9-volt battery for my postage scale. So I'll see if they got one of those little clamp fans or something that I can bring here. So what do we think about the new Batman Deadpool Batman? First comment on my Facebook feed was, now give me amalgam, or give me amalgam comics, which I like, but I don't necessarily know that I want amalgam as much as I want Deadpool Batman Deadpool. What do you think? Do we like the idea of Grant Morrison putting his voice in Deadpool? Do we like the idea of Zeb Wells writing Batman? I think it has a lot of potential, and I will definitely be a big buyer on it, but gives me a little bit of, I don't know, cause for concern, cause for alarm, cause for trepidation. See, the thing is, Leonard, it's not a publicity stunt. Never was. They announced this earnestly at Comics Pro. Both companies feel like they're in a unique position right now where they can do something like this when they couldn't 10 years ago, and they might not be able to 10 years from now. Both companies see this time period as an opportunity to do things fans have wanted for years. Uh, and they might not be able to get it done if they wait much longer. Probably something like that, and I don't think that's a bad idea. I think anything like that that would get people pumped up about the storytelling is a good idea. So I ain't angry at it. I think there's a lot of potential for a miss, but I think there's just as much potential for a hit. Here, and so again, I think it's a very interesting time because again, both companies feel like I love Grant Morrison. I think Grant Morrison is one of the finest writers that has ever written comics. But again, I think as long as both companies see there as being opportunities to work together where there didn't used to be, I think we have the opportunity to see some really unique and interesting work. And at the same time, get some of the stories and things that we've always wanted to see. What up, Ed? So again, like I think Grant Morrison writing Deadpool is going to be a very interesting take. I think it's probably going to be the more serious Deadpool, like in the old days. Before he became quite the jokester he is now. But I also think it's going to create more of a comedic voice in Batman that maybe we haven't seen in a while either. That's all right, Ed. Your stuff probably won't even get packed up till tomorrow anyway, because it hasn't been invoiced from this weekend yet. That's right. Anything that I sold this weekend has not yet been invoiced. So those people who bought from me this weekend, their stuff likely won't get packed up until tomorrow. Sweet fits. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you're good, Ed. And like I said, I'm not real worried about it. We'll get it taken care of. I just want to get everything shipped out that I can before my surgery on Friday, just because it's going to be really hard for me to come and do shipping for a couple of weeks. It's also why I will likely take at least a week off from live sale. Just because it'll be hard for me to stand there and do the shows for a couple of weeks. So, Um, she's thinking 2 to 4. Um, I'm only taking 1 day off work, but some of the things I normally go into the office for, I'll be doing from home, just because it's easier for me at home than it is at the office. And who knows, I may do live sales from home, but getting up here to do shipping will be difficult. I won't be able to walk for probably 2 to 4 weeks. Fastest recovery time she says I can expect is probably 3 weeks, just with my history. So that's what we're sort of planning for. But that it'll be a minimum of 3 weeks. Last time I had a surgery like this, I wound up, for lack of a better term, almost losing my foot. I wound up in the hospital several times over the course of a month, which sucked. And in fact, the one time I actually did the 6-month anniversary of the EXP event. We did like a big virtual convention from my hospital room where I actually did most of the interviews and produced the whole thing by myself live from my hospital room. So it could go the other direction as well. I'm prepared for that on a personal level, but it will make work difficult. But we have a great team, so I'm not super worried about it. Ed, what are your thoughts on the Batman, Deadpool, Batman announcement? Do you have any? Guys, put them in the comments if you have thoughts about Deadpool, Batman, Deadpool. Again, they announced this morning that Zeb Wells and Greg Capullo will be doing the Marvel version, which is Deadpool, Batman, and that Grant Morrison and Dan Mora will be doing the DC version, which will be Batman, Deadpool. So it's an interesting. I think those writers and artists are good choices. They haven't said whether it's a Deadpool versus Batman or a team up of some kind. Hasn't actually been announced yet. So I kind of hope that it's a little of both, right? I kind of hope that in one issue they're fighting like it's Batman is like, we can't have this vigilante bullshit in our town. And then in the next one it's like, oh crap, we are both, we have to work together to defeat the Joker. Something in that vein. but we'll see. Man, I'll tell you guys, the sleep debt from the convention I was at this weekend from Cherry Capital Comic Con was huge. I struggled today to get moving. And that's how you know you've had a good con, right? Is like when you're like, I'm back. I need to go back to work and back to my regular schedule so I can get some rest. Took me just under 6 hours to drive 4.5 hours. What would normally be 4.5 hours yesterday. Which is why we didn't have a live sale last night. My body went, you want to do a live sale? That's funny. You're going to pass out now. And then I passed out. So I was going to do a show last night, 9 to 11, like I normally do. But no dice. It was an involuntary reaction. I just remember walking to bed last night. My legs were going, oh, you think you're cute. You think you're going to keep standing up. Okay. The thing about shipping that nobody thinks about is when you're between two box sizes and you have to figure out what box size to use. I slept like the dead last night. 4 a.m. Sunday morning with Hydrosylum. Then only got a quick nap Sunday when I fell asleep. Yeah, no, I mean, and Ed, if you'd have come up to the convention, man, we would have both been dragging all day. So probably a good thing your wife turned off your alarm. But I can't tell you how much I needed that convention. Like, just not even the relaxation of it, but just the camaraderie of it and the friendship of it all. Like, I desperately needed it. And like, it's not that I don't have that same connection with y'all, like on the chat and here on the channel, but when you get to see folks you see once a year, or I sat Saturday night and drank non-alcoholic beers with a retailer, a good friend of mine, who, when I was going through my fires with my store, he was going through some fires with his own, that I haven't seen in 2 years. He didn't do the show last year. So like being able to sit with him and just sort of catch up and sort of commiserate and sort of see where each other is at was really great. Yeah. Oh, they got tons of accommodation. Like I said, Ed, the one problem you may have had on Sunday is getting jostled around a little bit in the chair. The show floor does get crowded in areas, but beyond that, it's a super accessible show. Lots of accommodations. The resort has a ton of accommodations as well in terms of accessibility options for folks. The one thing I would say they need to do better is they have random patches of carpet. That's like, okay. Like you'll go from linoleum or tile to carpet. It's like, okay, now I have to like wheel my way through sand. Nice. And like the show floor is fully carpet. Okay. That's going to be as close as that's going to get. That I got more stuff to pack. That I got more stuff to pack. That's got to get delivered. Ah. Okay. I have more stuff to pack for him. Okay. Well, I think I'm about done for the day. I've got to bring up the box from this weekend once it gets invoiced. Get that stuff packed away for those guys. And then get their last of that stuff packed. So I'll probably be back tomorrow. It's Memorial Day weekend every year, Ed. Dates don't move. It's Memorial Day weekend every year. The only year it wasn't Memorial Day weekend was the year of COVID, which obviously we couldn't have it then, so we had it in October. So it's always Memorial Day weekend. But since I am done with all the shipping I can do right now, till I invoice this week, or this past weekend, I'm going to call it a day. So, I'll be looking for more of this tomorrow. I will probably be here tomorrow at some point, doing more of this sort of shipping, hangout, talking kind of thing. So, locked my phone. Be watching for that, and I will see everybody. Ed, two things you can do. One, I already booked for next year, but I will adjust my booking to add the convention rate when it gets closer. So I would wait until they announce it through their website so you get the group rate. But anyhow, I will be back tomorrow doing more shipping and more hanging out. So we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.